I'm Stacy. Me and my husband Brent, along with our 5 boys, own Hoffman Lake Campground here in Warsaw, Indiana. And for this video, I'm going to be talking about becoming a seasonal. Oh shoot, should I cut it? We're gonna do a little multitasking video for this one while I'm doing the turd hearse today. Oh yeah, I'm also filling up the pool. We're working on that. I am going to be talking about one of the videos that I've had on my list to do, and that is what you need to know or think of or ask if you want to become a seasonal. So you've considered becoming a seasonal for a couple of reasons. The price of gas, depending on where you like to go, just the time that it takes to travel to all the places. You have to now, especially if you're a state park goer, you have to book 6 months in advance just to get a site, all the things. I was coming this way because I had to go get a tool that I'm pretty sure Briggs lost a couple weeks ago when I was doing this last. My first, and probably your first question you'll ask your wife, your husband, your partner, whoever you're going with, or whoever you're going to be purchasing the seasonal site or renting it with, is the location. Where do we want to plant our roots? Is there a certain area of the state that you want to be in? Is there one of the parks that you've gone to that you really love, you've visited there before, and you're like, man, this seasonal campground seems to be perfect for us? That's what you want to ask yourself. The second part, a question within that question, is how far do you want to travel? So you've kind of found your location of where you want to go, or you found a campground that you would like to be at, but you're not sure about how far you would like to. That's a big one. You don't want to be going to a campground that honestly you're going to get tired of driving that far. So for our seasonals, I've got people who travel about 2 hours to see us. That's about the furthest that we have, I believe, unless you're actually talking about the Beals, and they are from Arkansas. We also have some people who used to live in Mexico, and then they lived in Chicago with the rest of their family. They come here, but everybody else is within a 2-hour radius, and the closest ones being about 5 to 7 miles down the road, really. So just consider that when you're figuring out. And then the gas price. You are gonna want to make sure that you're considering how much you'll be spending on gas when traveling if you are from further away. How far you want to travel. You've got the gas price for that traveling if you are coming from further away. And the third question is the surrounding towns. Is it in an area where if the park doesn't have bike trails, like we don't have bike trails, but Winona Lake has bike trails. They've got really great bike trails. We're also within about 45 minutes of some other places that have state parks. So if you like to go on nature walks and stuff like that, Winona is also another great place for that. But we've got other surrounding state parks or recreational areas for that here. We also have the RV factories. A lot of people come here so that they can get their RVs fixed. And then They like to take tours of the plants, all of that. We've got Notre Dame. Shipshewana is Amish country, great shopping and swap meets and all of that in the area. So consider what is around the campground that you are going to be selecting when wanting to become a seasonal. Your second question you're going to want to ask yourselves and consider are, what are your requirements, your I would like, and your I do not want at all question. So you've got 3 categories kind of within that one question. The first one I always go to, since we are a family-friendly campground, is, and we have 5 boys ourselves, is a playground. Does the place have a playground so that my little rodents can go scurry around down there? Where is that playground located? Kind of like ours is kind of at the entrance. It's not the best location, but the perk for our playground is that the majority of it, I hope nobody's getting sick from that, is the shade. The shade is a huge deal for me. Moms and dads sit along this part right here. We've got golf carts. If you're a seasonal, which is another question that you will want to ask, they'll sit right there, watch the kids. And then how about a pool? Where's the pool at? Over here somewhere. Yep, back there. Do they have a pool? So you've got a playground, a pool. We have a splash pad. Do they have bathhouses? Some campgrounds, some seasonal campgrounds don't have bathhouses. Is it a lake, or do they have a pond? Can you fish on that pond or lake? Can you boat? If it is a campground that you can have boats at, do you get to have your own pier, or do you have to rent one from them? For our campground, our lakefront, it is a perk that you get. You can have your own pier. You have to maintain it. We do have some boat slips that we rent out to other seasonals who don't have lakefront and can't have their own pier. So that is down at our other end. That is something you would like to ask. And last, and probably the very most important one, is the hookups. What hookups do they have? So all of these campers that you are seeing behind me in this middle section, lakefront and over in this area, do not have full hookup. They are 30 amp, very few are 50 amp with water hookups. So that is why I am pumping out today. That is an additional cost. Some campgrounds add that into the seasonal rate. We just have them pay for it because some of them don't even have us pump out at all. They have a blue boy that they do it on their own. So what ampage are you needing, and then are you requiring that your camper have, being at a seasonal campground? Do they have water hookups, or do you have to tote in your water like some or state parks? You have to fill up before. Most campgrounds that are going to be seasonals would have a water hookup, I would assume. And is it a full hookup, meaning there's sewer included, or do you have to dump your own? Some campgrounds don't have a dump station at all, or they just have a dump station, so you have to do your own. Or do they have a service like our turd hearse that comes around and pumps it out for an additional cost, or is it included? So you've got those things that you're going to want to consider when finding a place that you know you would like to be. Make your list of your I must have. So I would have to have a playground. I would be okay with not having full hookup, but I would have to have 50. And then a pool or lake for me and the boys and us to enjoy during those summer weeks or weekends when we're here would be a must as well. Something to consider safety wise is there a gate? Is this a gated campground, or can people just kind of come and go as they want? My grandma was very smart in putting in a gated access, and a lot of people that come here really appreciate that. We also have cameras that can see everything that's going on So that is a huge bonus. People really appreciate that. There's other campgrounds that when they are all full, they will recommend us or say that we're also in the area. And one lady, she was a solo camper, female camper, and she was like, I had to have a gated community or park, and this campground recommended you, and I really appreciate that. That's something I didn't really think about being an owner, but now that we have to, now that I am a campground owner and I know that is important, people do appreciate that. So think about that. One other thing I forgot is, does the campground have a rec hall and activities? If you have kids and you know that they're gonna wanna have some little extra stuff to do, you're gonna want to ask if they have activities if you've never been there before. So do they put on crafts? Do they have movie nights? Do they even have a rec hall with a game room? Does the campground have a store to buy stuff as well? There are seasonal campgrounds that I know that just don't have that many seasonals, so they don't have a store. That's something to think about. I was just talking to a seasonal, asking if she wanted to be on, and she's gonna think about some of the things that I told her. But do they allow dogs? That is a big one nowadays. Some campgrounds don't allow dogs. Some campgrounds only allow certain dogs. They might not allow certain breeds. So do they have a restriction on breeds of dogs? Hirschbergers, I'm gonna sit on your little thing, thank you. And what about decks? Do you want to have a deck? We allow decks for our seasonals. They can only be the length of your camper and 8 feet out. 8 feet out seems to be a great size for us. That way we can still get into the majority of our seasonals to be able to mow and maintain the ground as much as possible. That leads into the next question. Do they mow your site or do you have to mow it? We mow all of our sites that we can reach. If we can't reach it, then they can bring some kind of push mower or something like that, and they have to trim. They trim everything around their sites, and they can do landscaping as well. We don't want them planting trees or anything, of course, because trees get a lot bigger, but they can do flowers, hostas, anything like that. They can do a border, they can do patio pavers if they would like. My next one is, do they allow golf carts? Golf carts are a huge deal for my seasonals. They love being able to cruise around the campground on weekends or whenever they are here for that matter. Yeah, it's just something fun. We don't, however, permit weekenders to, because weekenders aren't as committed to our campground. They're like a one and done, not one and done, but they're here and then they leave. Whereas seasonals, you're kind of pot committed for the season. They're not coming in and going out. The next one, does your seasonal campground allow you to take your camper out? For us, some campers we will not take out. because of how some of our seasonals are, like the way we've put in their campers and where they're located, it would not be ideal. So I do make sure I tell seasonals that, Briggs, are you photo bombing or video bombing me? What? That we do not do the coming in and going out, because that would just be a lot more work for us, especially some of our lakefront people. Yeah, just not ideal at all. So I do have Cheryl here with me. She has been a seasonal this year, second year, right?
Second year.
She would come on weekends for 2 holidays or just randomly?
Before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we were down here about 3 or 4 times this summer. Probably.
Okay. Yeah. She's friends with these Mr. Jack and Peggy and who else was it? That was really it.
That's what.
Okay. But I came and asked her what were her requirements or what she was looking for when she was thinking about becoming a seasonal. So first, why did you?
Well, for years we always wanted to do it. We just never did it. And then coming down here all the time, we definitely wanted to try to get in down here if we could.
Okay. Why here?
You camp a lot of different places, and this is the place we always came back to. The people here are friendly. You know, I know people that were here already. The people are friendly. You know, I feel like a family down here a little bit.
Okay. And what were some of your must-haves for a seasonal campground?
Well, big thing for us is shade, you know, because a lot of campgrounds you go to, it's just wide open.
That is very true.
Shade.
That's something I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Shade. Getting to bring our dogs with us when we come. Obviously, you know, we have to put up a gate and stuff to keep them contained, but, you know, being able to bring the dogs with us. It's a great family campground close to home. The kids can come down here. You know, my kids and grandkids can come
visitors.
And enjoy them.
Do they allow visitors?
Yes, they allow
Is there
visitors.
a price for them?
$5 for a visitor to come in.
Yeah.
$5 a person for adults.
Yeah.
5 and under is free. $8 on the holidays.
Yeah.
But it's well worth it. They've got the playground.
Or we do the seasonal pick 6 is what one of our
6.
seasonals would call it. You can pick the same 6 people to come as much as you want whenever you're here, and they can pay for it. Whoever can pay for it, as long as I get my $250 and you get your 6 people.
Right.
Anything else that you were okay with if you didn't have it? Like full hookup.
Yeah,
Everyone would love full hookup.
Full hookup would be really nice, but also location has a lot to do with it. You know,
It
here
does, yeah.
we're located closer to the lake and everything, so that makes it really nice.
Yeah, you get kind of a lake view without paying for it a little bit. A little bit.
This is lake access here, maybe lake views over there.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Anything else that you can think of that you had to have or you were okay with or you didn't want? What did you not want at a seasonal?
I don't know. I can't really think of anything I didn't really want.
Okay. Because there's some places like I do not want an all gravel site.
Right.
Or some people would love to have an all gravel site because then they can have a rug.
Right.
As seasonals, you can have rugs. It just has to be part of your deck area. It can't be any more. Just because, as everyone I feel like is getting ready to know, that we love our grass here. So that's a big thing.
Yeah.
How about not having to mow your yard? Was that kind of a bonus?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You bring out the weed eater and you get what you know what you need to get.
Okay.
But, I enjoy not having to mow my own yard.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome.
You can get back to finishing your planting, and they had just built this deck, so she was working on that.
Gotta get some stairs in here.
Yep, stairs. Stairs would be nice. That's why the chair's there. Oh shoot, should I cut it? Okay, I have Bill here and Mr. John. I asked them the question of why they considered becoming a seasonal here at Hoffman Lake Campground. Bill, what were your requirements?
The lake, the pool, electricity and water.
Okay, so you're okay with not having to get dumped or not having full hookup?
Oh, yes, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Because you're very, very close to the
Across
bathhouse.
street to
Yeah.
the bathhouse.
It's like, what, 30 steps for you maybe?
27.
Okay. It might be 40 if he really has to go. Yeah? Okay. John,
Yes.
why did you consider becoming a seasonal?
Well, I have camped all over this country. Pulled my camper here, there, and whatever. And I just found this place and decided this was for me. I mean,
And you didn't like pulling it
I
anymore,
didn't
too.
like pulling it.
Yeah. It's a lot of work, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Every weekend having to pack it up and then unpack it, set it up, tear down, all that.
And I met a lot of good people here.
Okay.
A lot of good friends. So
Yeah, you do.
here I am.
Okay. How long have you been a seasonal here?
Well, I had that camper.
You don't have like a
early.
tally mark on your bumper or anything?
I got tired of taking my shoes off.
I want to say you're in your late 20s of it, right? You've been here over 20 years?
That would be pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
25 maybe.
Yeah, around 25. Okay, 25 to 30. Bill, you used to be a seasonal here, and then you left, and then you came back. So how many total years?
I probably have 20, 21, something like that there.
Okay, so about the same.
Yes.
Okay. What would be your number one thing to consider for becoming a seasonal?
Well, I'm here.
Yeah, but if you were telling somebody that they asked you, I'm becoming a seasonal somewhere, what would be your one thing for them to think about?
Well, with all that's here to enjoy,
It doesn't have to be here. They're just considering becoming a seasonal.
oh, come on down. The weather's nice. Yes.
Well,
Okay.
there's a lot to do in the whole area. There's a lot of good restaurants.
Okay. So yours is consider your area and what do they have around to do outside of the campground? Okay, I like that. Where's your favorite place to eat in Warsaw? Because you guys go out a lot.
Yeah, we do.
A lot. I'm gonna say like minimum 3 times a week.
Actually, oh yeah.
Okay.
Actually, we like
Milford.
Milford.
At Harry's the best. They got the best food, good entertainment,
Okay.
The
Okay.
price is right.
and the beer
Okay.
isn't too bad.
Okay. That's their big thing. Okay. So if you are in the area and you're not a seasonal, try Harry's. I'm gonna have to try it now. I've never been there.
Oh, my, yes.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Have a
Enjoy
good
the
day.
rest of your view.
Thank you.
The last thing I would do and think of when considering a specific campground. So, or you've got your, you've got your list dwindled down to a handful, 2 to 3 campgrounds or whatever, and you're just not sure. Some of them you've been to, but 1 to 2 of them you haven't been to yet. Book a weekend stay. If you can book a little bit longer, so you're thinking about doing your week-long, 4-day camping trip for the summer or whatever, book a stay with that campground. You do not, and I get a lot of people on our wait list. I'll be like, oh, have you stayed with us before? No. I'm like, then how do you know you're gonna like it? It just seems odd to me that people would want to go to a campground, or maybe they have friends and they know that they'll like it. It's totally fine. But I've got people who know nobody, they've never been here, and they want to become a seasonal. And I'm like, that's crazy. Book a stay with them. If you can book a longer stay, that will help you get a better feel for what it would be like during the week. If you're somebody who's going to just come during the week, or what it's going to be like on a busy weekend as a seasonal. so that you can walk around in the morning, see what it's like, walk around at night, see what it's like. The nightlife is a huge factor in telling you what kind of campground it's going to be. Don't base it off of the weekenders that are going to be there. Base it off of what the seasonals are doing on the weekends. We do have some seasonals who like to get a little extra on the weekends, but it is not like that here. We are it is quiet. We are a family campground. I try and make sure that everyone is quiet by a certain time, so that way everybody can get their sleep or just enjoy a nice fire on the weekends, because that's what you're here to do. You're out here to be outdoors and enjoy the time that you have away from work.
Could you try again?
So book a stay, and then if possible, say, hey, I am interested in becoming a seasonal camper of yours. I'm on your wait list. Could I read one of your contracts? That right there is going to tell you what the do's and don'ts of that campground are. So for our seasonals, we only allow one of these. Now, you can only have an electric golf cart. We are putting age restrictions on the golf carts, or depending on what they look like, because we don't want our campground to look run down. We are very strict on the lawn. No blue tarps over your wood pile. It needs to be a brown or a darker gray or a black tarp, because blue just kind of just sticks out like a sore thumb. What else? We have a lot of rules. We do. We have added a lot of rules since becoming the owners. But you know what? We get a lot of people that come up to us then, and they are saying your campground is extremely well kept. It looks very nice, well maintained. The sites and campers aren't looking run down and ragged. We appreciate that. And then that makes us feel a lot better, knowing that weekenders, when they come here, or new seasonals, and even our seasonals that say that, we enjoy knowing that people come here and they are seeing what we are wanting them to see. They're not seeing trash all over the playground all the time, or people just running crazy, and all that stuff that you can see at some campgrounds. So consider the age of your camper as well. So for our campground, we require that it be within the 10 years. So since it's 2024 now, you could only have a 2014. Now I know a lot of people aren't going to like that rule, but it helps with the look of our campground. When you see a bunch of rundown older campers, you just get that thought that, oh, maybe this isn't the place for me, or people just won't take care of them. Sometimes we have excellent seasonals that take care of their campers. We also require that they take care of their campers, that it needs to be washed a minimum one time a year. We like it to be before Memorial Day weekend, when the season really starts up. But there are some seasonals that do have to wash theirs more because of where they're located, with trees and the sun beating down. It just kind of gets that green scum buildup, or from the trees dropping debris and stuff. So make sure you know that. Ask the owners of the campground, manager, whoever it is there an age restriction on campers? Or is there a style? We do not allow motorhomes or destination trailers to become seasonal. So it's travel trailers and fifth wheels are the only thing. Or we do allow I call it kind of still a pop-up, but the ones that have the beds that fold out. I hope I'm not missing anything. If you are a seasonal somewhere and you know of things that you asked, leave those in the comments for me, please. I would love to hear things that I missed, that maybe some of my seasonals missed as well. And I'm hoping to get up a blog post about this as well. I do have one already, but it's not as informative as this video. And get a check sheet made up. Hopefully I can get one of those up. If I did get one up, I'm definitely on it. And I will link that down below for everyone. I hope this video was informative for you. I really enjoyed making it while I got my chores done for my Monday. And I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you on the next video.